It's the Extremist movie debate. And tonight we're talking 2017's The Shape of Water.
Oh, you could say I'm Nathan.
Hi.
That's Nathan.
I'm Ethan. One of us is going to love it. One of us is going to hate it.
Let the coin decide their fate.
I love it.
I hate it then.
Hey guys, don't open and unfurl your fish dick and hit us with it, because spoilers are ahead. This movie currently holds a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, and Nathan, since you hate this movie, this first question comes to you. This comes from Adam Graham of Detroit News. Adam says, The Shape of Water is director Guillermo del Toro's finest film, a lovely, empathetic tribute to old Hollywood, monster movies, outsiders, and love that could only come from the mind of the visionary filmmaker.
Visionary. Here's the problem with The Shape of Water.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah. I just hate it so much.
Yeah, so Guillermo del Toro does have a specific style, like, visually. You see his movies, and you know it's his movie. So how do you think he handled kind of making, as we talked about with Phantom Thread, a genre film of, like, the classic monster movies? You have 45 seconds.
Well, my problem with The Shape of Water is that it is a genre film, and it's cribbing from lots of different genres, and it's just completely ripping off stuff that we've seen 1,000 times before from lots of different directors, and Guillermo del Toro himself. I mean, the creature itself is right out of The Creature from the Black Lagoon. The visual style of this movie, which has been hailed all over the place, is just ripped right out of the films of Jean-Pierre Jeunet, who made Delicatessen and The City of Lost Children, and there's and those are better, more interesting films than this. I think he is just he's playing copycat here, and all the plagiarism lawsuits that have been coming out prove that. I just don't think he has an original idea in his head in this one.
Okay, thank you. I forgot that you're really smart, so you're always dropping names no one knows.
Jean-Pierre Jeunet.
Yeah, Ethan.
Yeah,
He also directed Alien Resurrection. Fuck you, Jeff. I know his name. He's great. Alien Resurrection is a masterpiece. More importantly, he did Amelie, which is pretty much an identical color scheme to this movie. However, this movie, you say plagiarized, ripped off, cribbed. I say homage, which, you know, there's a fine line there. But I think that this is a movie made by a person who grew up watching, you know, Creature from the Black Lagoon, other monster movies, grew up watching old Hollywood movies, and, you know, there's all sorts of nods to old Hollywood in this movie, which, of course, is just going to give the Academy a boner. However, it still works really well in this movie. I hope it's a fish boner. It unfolds. I think it works incredibly well in this, and I think that it's important to understand where these movies came from and then where they can go forward. And in this movie, you have all of the modern beats that you want in a story.
Ethan.
Damn, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ethan tends to just feels drawn out. Love it, Ethan. This next question actually is for you, though. This comes from Jamie East of The Sun, parenthetical, UK. Jamie says, I felt nothing for the characters, which makes the premise of rooting for the misunderstood a moot point. How do you feel about the characters, and do you feel any sort of sympathy for anyone in this movie? And how did that affect your viewing? You have 45 seconds.
Yeah, virtually every character except for the waiter in the diner that they go to, who is just blatantly racist. However, I think that the empathy for the characters comes from their own conflict, and we understand, you know, she was lost as a child, she's got weird scars on her head or on her neck, and she doesn't have the ability to talk. Like, so we understand that is frustration. She doesn't quite understand where she fits inside this world, and so she meets this other person, this humanoid fish thing, who also doesn't understand where he fits inside the world, and she understands, like, oh, this is somebody that I can empathize with, and we in turn empathize with that relationship. Richard Jenkins is an out-of-work artist who is also a closeted gay man who frequents a diner every day to get pie that he doesn't eat so that he can meet a guy who eventually hates him for being gay and eventually is also blatantly racist. So I think that it's important
Thanks, Ethan. Nathan, you have 45 seconds to respond.
Well, the problem with Guillermo del Toro's exploration of the other and how they're pushed to the margins of society is just really surface level here, because all of the characters are just represented by the thing that makes them different. And also, I think that the relationship between Sally Hawkins, who is the woman, and the amphibious man here is mostly established in a montage. So we don't even really get a moment where they have time time together where he allows them to communicate in a lengthy scene. We just see them slowly, learning things because she's teaching him. And so once they actually get it on, it doesn't resonate because we don't understand what draws her to
Thanks, Nathan. Gotta cut you off there. All right, you guys have 2 minutes to discuss and go.
Yeah, from the moment she sees him, it's another creature in a cage. In this case, it's a physical cage. In her case, it's a metaphorical cage.
Oh, brother!
I'm just saying, you can read into that, and so you do psychologically, and you all of a sudden understand that they can connect.
When you go to the zoo and you see a lion in the cage, you go, "Wow, that's a sexy lion. I want to have sex with that lion."
I don't know what you do at the zoo, but that is what I do at the zoo.
I'm not allowed at most zoos.
Congratulations, me neither. Look, we should hang out more. I get it. So we understand that Sally Hawkins' character can be attracted to this fish person, and I think that it's important to understand that they do have that connection immediately when they meet. The montage is just nice icing on that cake.
Like the cake that the man has on the bus stop at the beginning of the movie, which is just another character that's cribbed right out of the Genet films we were talking about earlier. And you have to concede that this is a movie of borrowed ideas, and he's not putting them together in a way that we haven't seen before. And he's also made other films that are backdropped by historical moments, The Devil's Backbone and Pan's Labyrinth.
Sure.
And this is much less interesting than both of those. I mean, it doesn't use the Cold War setting in a way that's anything more than just pushing these characters to the margins.
Yep. No, it's not.
But
the
that's fine. But the espionage
pushing
thing
them forward as a plot device.
The espionage is just an extra thing in this movie that distracts from the real heart of it, which is these three people that we're supposed to care about. And then Michael Shannon is this grotesque figure. He's obviously supposed to be something out of a fairy tale.
But isn't it great that you see his hands start to decay throughout the movie
that's just
as his
unnecessary.
own morality, which starts off terrible the first time you see it, he loses his fingers, and then they just start to decay more and more as
at one point he
becomes
pulls
a more
them off
terrible
of his hand
because he is at that point completely dark.
And it's
a
disgusting.
wonderful symbol, and it's disgusting. It can be both.
I just have to say that I think that Guillermo del Toro, everyone talks about the heart that he has and how sweet his movies are.
All right, wrap up this thought,
He's a
Nathan.
gross cat. Disgusting.
You done?
He's got this fetish for hurting people's faces. Some guy gets shot in the face and then someone puts their finger in it.
Fish hooks him.
Ugh. All right.
Why?
Poor Michael.
What do you guys? Shannon?
No. Spielberg.
Oh.
He's got 2 Michaels for the price of one.
God, he's in 3 Best Picture movies this year.
Yeah.
God.
All right,
He's like the new Domhnall Gleeson.
Or John C. Reilly.
You guys done?
Yeah.
All right, what do you really feel about the movie?
I liked it a lot. It feels very simple and surface level, but there is a lot more going on beneath that. A lot more to grasp, and it's fun. It's probably the most audience friendly out of all of these, even though it is very disgusting and involves fish sex.
I agree. I actually think that the fact that he made a movie about gangrene in your fingers and boning a fish, as opposed to deboning a fish, and that it's gotten a lot of Academy Award nominations, and people are actually going to see it, is kind of amazing. I've seen it twice actually. I really love it.
Okay, well, what would you guys rate the movie?
I still don't understand your rating system, but I'm going to give it a 10.
10 is high.
So you give it a 1 out of 10.
10.
That's how much you liked it the
I
first
love it.
viewing. Okay, and then the lightning. It's little.
It's
kinda,
thunder.
Or thunder.
Well,
yeah.
okay. Well, I went back and saw it again.
So a lot of thunder.
Yeah, that.
All right.
Yeah, I will give it a, I want to say 10, but I'm going to give it a 9. out of
Why
10.
not?
All right, fuck it. 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Another
I would
10 out of
watch
10
it
movie
over
for
and
our
over
show.
again. And it also feels very much like Amelie, which is another movie that I love very much.
I think I actually kind of prefer this to Amelie.
That's fair. That's
I
fine.
mean,
Which is
she
fine,
doesn't have
because
sex with a fish creature in Amelie, but
sure doesn't, unfortunately.
if she did, it wouldn't be out of place. No. I do like Amelie, though.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Ethan, where can we find us?
We're on this YouTube thing. Subscribe, yay, hey, comment, whatever. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, emd.panspending.com, artificialwood.panspending.com, and yeah.
Thanks to everyone who contributes and watches and listens. We kind of like you guys. Good night.